I'm Jake Bruton, and today on the Build Show, yet another video from the truck talking about business. I had a question today online about deposits, so I want to talk about that. So the question that I received today was from another contractor, someone I know, and the question was just, hey, do you get deposits for stuff? Yes, is the short answer. I hate it when a question's like so open-ended like that. Well, what does for stuff mean? How often are we talking? Like, what are we talking about? So let's talk about how deposits work with my company. The first round of money that you are going to spend with Aarow Building, if you're working with my company, is for pre-construction services. That's not a deposit. You are paying for pre-construction services, and you just pay the majority of it in advance so that you have open access to my time. The next round of money that you'll end up investing with Aarow Building for a project is a placeholder deposit. We call it a placeholder deposit because that deposit represents you getting a spot in our schedule. That schedule slides a little bit, but when you pay that deposit, or before you pay that deposit, in general, you get a pretty clear picture of when we think we'll be able to start your project. Obviously, if the job before you is a deck and it rains 6 weeks in a row, your project will slide a little, but we try to maintain our schedules with enough wiggle room that that sort of thing doesn't happen. The reason that we collect that deposit is because we want you to make a commitment to us in the form of a financial commitment so that we can justify making a commitment to you, as in giving you a slot in our schedule. That slot is valuable. That slot may get us a different job if you're not signed on. So we don't just let you go, yeah, we'll work with you. We say, okay, if you would like to work with us, then we need a placeholder deposit so that we can make that commitment to you. You are making a commitment to us with the financial investment. We're making a commitment to you, saving that place in the schedule. That was a very difficult thing for me to come up with to begin with. I always thought, yeah, but why would they put 10% of the job cost into an account with us before the job even starts? That doesn't make any sense. It seems like they're paying for nothing. And then I realized after I had a client cancel the day before we were supposed to be there, hey, we decided to have somebody else do the job for us. Well, now I don't have anything scheduled for the next 4 weeks because we were planning on doing your bathroom. And now I have guys that still have to be paid. I have bills that still have to be paid. And I have truck payments that still have to be made. And now I don't have the money that you had committed. Like, I gave you that slot in the schedule and now you don't want us to do the job. That's a very challenging thing. So by putting in place that placeholder deposit, I haven't had that sort of thing happen again. If you're not serious, you're not going to give us any money. It is also a non-refundable deposit. Make sure that all of your deposits, the invoice that you give clients for those, says non-refundable, because otherwise it's not a deposit. It's just money that they let you hold on to. I did have some clients give me a deposit for a house and then decide to not build the house and say, well, we'd like our deposit back. I held a place in the schedule for you, and now I have to scramble for the next 5 weeks to find work. I can't just give you that money back. That money back was holding a place in our schedule. You caused me financial duress by not having us build that house. The deposit makes that a little better, but it doesn't resolve it. So make sure that you say non-refundable, and make sure your clients understand what non-refundable means. The second kind of deposit that you're going to have with us is you're going to have a special order material deposit. Now, if the job is short, bathroom, kitchen, small remodel, something like that, all of those deposits will probably be lumped in with your placeholder deposit, and it'll be one amount. You are going to pay in full for any special order item before we place the order for it. This is something that I also used to not do, that I had a conversation with a really great builder friend of mine, and he said, hey, I just wanted to tell you a story to make sure that you were getting deposits. He had a very expensive home that the clients ordered $100,000 worth of travertine tile for the house. And they were in the process of building this house. travertine is a special order tile. It was coming from far away. So being smart, they lead timed that out and got it into their shop and had it in storage so that it would be ready when the clients were ready to start installing that travertine. Both of the clients died in a car accident. At that point, the builder, my builder friend, is stuck with $100,000 or roughly of tile in his warehouse that needs to be returned, that he's going to at least pay a 20% restocking fee on, which means no fault of his own. In fact, good planning is his fault, and no fault of the client. It's a horrible accident that they died in a car accident. It's no one's fault, and the builder's about to be out $20,000. Now, to resolve that, you can then go to the estate and ask the estate to pay it. And if the estate says we're not paying that, then you'd have to go through a lawsuit. How horrible is it going to be if you have to sue someone's estate and their kids, basically, to get money for something that was done in good faith, that was the right thing to do at the time? It was the right thing for him to get that tile there early so that they would have it and not cause delays. And a horrible, horrible event took place. It's no one's fault. And so I always tell that story to my clients when I talk about this. And I tell them that because that's not a like, oh, well, I want to be paid for this in case I decide to walk off the job, or I want to be paid for this in case you decide to fire me. Nothing bad happened in that story, or nothing bad that happened in that story was someone's fault. Everyone did everything correctly, and someone was still about to be out $20,000, an enormous sum of money. So I always think to that conversation that I had with that builder when I talk to clients, and I always think I have to get a deposit for everything. So I just say everything that's special order is going to get ordered before we start the job so that it's in site or on site or in Columbia in our market before we start, because we don't want to tear up the bathroom and then realize we have to wait 6 weeks for the tub. We want it here. So why not get it coming and have it here before we start? For it to get here, it has to be paid for. For it to be paid for, it's coming out of your project. It's your pocket. So it gets lumped in a lot of times with our placeholder deposit. There'll be deposit for half of the cabinets, for the faucets, for the drawer pulls, all those sorts of things. And they'll all get ordered before the job starts. And that's because we have the money in the bank to pay for it. We can guarantee that that item's paid for. Now, moving through the job, there may be an instance where someone says, okay, well, I want to go ahead and I've decided that we do want to get that light for the entryway. And, we're in framing on that house. You're still going to pay for that light fixture before we order that special order light fixture. There's no reason why, if you're willing to spend that money, you shouldn't be willing to go ahead and pay the builder for that item. Now, we don't apply that to things like wafer board that we can get in town, or studs, or even flooring that would be an in-stock item at any of the places that we work. It's only on items that we wouldn't be able to return or that we would have to pay a restocking fee on. So those are the two deposits. You're investing in us financially so that we can make a commitment to you by holding you a place in the schedule. And if you want us to put our neck out there and order that special order item that's going to be non-returnable, that's fine. I'm not putting my neck out there. You're going to pay for it up front. This is good business practice. This is not being a jerk. Don't think of it like that. Think of it as, this is how legitimate businesses operate. I don't spend money on your job without knowing that the money's there. Take a deposit seriously. I think that it can greatly affect your business. It's super important, and it helps with one of those, one of those biggest problems for our businesses is cash flow. When the cash flow isn't there, it's pretty darn difficult to stay in business. But if you have those big ticket items that are special order paid for in advance, that cash flow issue it goes away. Thanks for watching the Build Show Network this week. I'm Jake. Thanks for watching this series, and thanks for all the positive feedback on our Business 101 series. I'm really happy that this is stuff that I'm getting to share, because it's all stuff that I wish someone would have sat me down in the first 5 years of business and said, hey, you got to take care of this. You got to take care of X. Have you thought about Y? That's like my whole goal here is I want everybody to hear these things because I think they're important. Don't forget, 6 days a week, there is new content on the Build Show Network. Matt Reisinger's putting out 2 videos a week, and then Wade Pankwin, Brent Hull, and Steve Basic are all putting up videos. I'm watching all the videos almost every single week. I'm learning a lot from those guys too. I'm really happy that they asked me to be involved. This is really high-level content. I'm really pleased with what they're doing as well. Don't forget to check out the Unbuild It podcast. That's a podcast on building science and building that Steve Basic and I co-host a couple times a month with Peter Yost. Until next time, thanks for watching The Build Show.